Welcome to the Mike, and Mike show. For my partners Mike and Mike, I'm Mike. We're opening things up, a little NFL talk, talking about some Super Bowl picks. Mike, who do you got?
I think it's going to be like 04 in a rematch between the Pats and the Eagles. I think the Patriots they're going to have the best offense in the NFL, and the Eagles have only improved this year, and I think they'll be the two best teams in the AFC and NFC.
I like your Patriots pick. I think they've added a lot of offense with Brandon Lloyd. They still got the two best tight ends in the league. That duo is just unstoppable. They still got Tom Brady. They still got Bill Belichick. They improved their defense. But I'm going to go with the 49ers out of the NFC. I think that defense is one to be reckoned with. They've added some pieces on offense, given Alex Smith some receivers in the draft with A.J. Jenkins, and then also signing Mario Manningham and Randy Moss. I think that they could be coming out of the NFC. What about you, Mike?
Out of the NFC, I'm going to have to go with the Falcons. I mean, their weakness last year was their secondary. They got a steal in trading for Asante Samuel. And I think if Matt Ryan has a bounce-back year with Roddy White and Michael Jenkins, and Michael Turner keeps doing what he's doing, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the NFC. Out of the AFC, it's basically a toss-up, I think, but I think it's the Ravens' year. I mean, Flacco just knows how to win in the playoffs, and I think that Harbaugh's a great coach, and Ray Rice can carry that team, and they have the veterans on defense, and Ray Lewis wants to get another ring.
We've talked about some teams that could be in the Super Bowl. Now into a team that has absolutely no shot, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Maurice Jones-Drew has announced that he will hold out unless a new contract is signed between him and the Jaguars. The guy is a workhorse, I should say. He's led in all-purpose yards last year, and he's an absolute superstar. He's 60%, 50% of their offense, it seems like. And the fact that they're not paying him is surprising.
I actually think it's ridiculous because he's the only player on their team that is a marketable star that they can point to to excite the fans about the team. And he is almost their entire offense. And without him, I think that team would go 0-16 because they won't be able to generate enough offense to win games.
And to be honest, they have Blaine Gabbert in his second season after one of the most dreadful rookie seasons we've seen in recent days. Do you really want to have a rookie quarterback who's fragile and has confidence issues lining up under center without Maurice Jones-Drew, his biggest weapon in the backfield? They've got to have all the pieces around him. They added Justin Blackmon. They've got to have everyone there to see if Blaine Gabbert can actually be their quarterback of the future. And the last thing they need is a holdout.
I think the Jaguars already lost out on this season when they didn't make the trade for Tebow. I mean, a running attack with Tebow and Jones-Drew would have been amazing, but Gabbert just can't produce. Mike Thomas is not a viable number one receiver, and without Jones-Drew there, Rashad Jennings is going to have to carry the load, and the Jaguars won't win a game. I think it's foolish for them not to pay him.
770-982-0985, calling into the show. We got a caller on the line. We've got John and Alex in a car. John, you're on the Sports Show.
Well, I was hearing you guys talk about your Super Bowl picks, and I was thinking how you overlooked the Chargers. I think they were going to be a surprise team this year, and I was wondering if you guys thought they would be too.
It's tough because Phillip Rivers had a dreadful season last year. The year before, he was one of top 5 in touchdowns, passing yards. Last year, he touchdowns and interceptions.
He threw too many picks last year, and that team really stumbled. And I thought they were going to be better than they were. They barely stayed at 500.
I don't even see them getting out of their division.
And they have such horrible special teams too. A year ago they were first in defense and offense, but were so bad on special teams they couldn't even make the playoffs.
Looks like we got one more caller before we get off the air here. John Schlayer, you're in a car here on the Sports Show.
All right, so I was thinking about my NFL picks the other day, picking my fantasy team. And I saw a couple teams that interested me, and I don't know about you guys. 1, Miami Dolphins. 2, Tennessee Titans against either Dallas Cowboys or Detroit Lions.
The only team that made any sense out of that was the Detroit Lions. They've got a lot of pieces. They've got a good defense, ranked in the top 10 last year, and they have Matt Stafford, Calvin Johnson, some good pieces on offense. Cowboys, I don't think they're going anywhere. Their window is closing. The Dolphins, they've got 3 quarterbacks, which means they have no quarterbacks. So no chance there. And then the Titans, they've also got 2 quarterbacks. They got to figure that out. Chris Johnson, who knows if he's going to have a bounce back year. But yeah, we'll see on that one. That's going to wrap it up here for the Mike, and Mike show. I'm Mike with my partners Mike and Mike. See you tomorrow.